Welcome back to the Camden Ice Sports Arena. Game number 1 here for the Warriors on Saturday, 11:20 tilt against the Chicago Hawks. Phillips on defense there, pushing it up the right side. Warriors trying to bounce back from a tough day yesterday. 0-2, dropped a close one in the morning and then a pretty rough one in the evening, but we'll see if they bounce back here today. Dooning retreats back in his own zone, chips it up back into the neutral zone. Trying to find Griffin, but out of reach for him. Palmer there as well, along with Welsh. Welsh will play it back on the other side to McCabe. Up the boards, but not out, kept in by the Hawks. Good energy so far by the Warriors. Possessed the puck most of this first couple of shifts here. They'll play it out here on the near side to Whitlock. Whitlock trying to get a centering pass for Welsh, streaking through the neutral zone. No icing as it was tipped. Oh, good opportunity there for Halleck. Just kind of came through at the blue line and had a chance for a shot from the high slot, but got poked away. Halleck still battling. Got Welsh here on the side. Pass intercepted by Welsh, and Halleck will dump it in. Line change for several of the Warriors. Walcott and Halleck pursuing in the offensive zone here. Good pressure by the Warriors. Whatever the coach's speech was this morning must have worked. So far, I like the intensity here by the Warriors. Botham will chase after it. Good to see him back out after that scary neck injury yesterday. Hit him on the side of the neck. I didn't check or ask, but I figured he's got a pretty good bruise there. But fortunately, nothing worse than that. Phillips jumps the pass and pokes that away. Bayshore back with him on D. Bayshore will play it back to Phillips. Up the far boards, off the center ice boards, but a little too far and out of reach. Hawks will take possession in their own zone. They'll regroup. Errant pass. Picked up by Newton. Newton across the blue line. Quick wrist shot, blocker save. Good heat on that shot. Curtin picks up the loose puck. Trying to find backdoor pass there on the far side. He's looking for Moss, but fanned on it. And here come the Hawks the other way. Good back check by the Warriors. Newton regroups, plays it behind his own net. A little too far for Dooning, but Moss is there. A good touch pass on the breakout for Curtin. Just rolled off a Curtin stick, and they broke it up, and picked up again by Palmer. Boys seem to be talking more. Good flow, finding their rhythm. Sometimes it just takes a couple games, especially for the kids that don't play together very often, which is most of this crew. Palmer chips it in. He'll chase after it. Line change for the rest of the Warriors. Fresh legs on the ice. Here comes Griffin. Long stretch pass again. That burned the Warriors a couple times yesterday. But good back checking there by Whitlock, and Welsh is back as well. Griffin up the far side. He'll chip it on the boards for Welsh. Welsh gets tripped up. It's picked up by Whitlock. Whitlock trying to find the open man. Comes all the way through it just behind McCabe. And we're going to get a penalty here. Griffin had a little shove there. We'll get a rough. At 11:16 in the first period, Griffin will go off. Warriors will be killing their first penalty here. Good intensity, a couple good shots. See if they can keep it up here. Get that ever important first goal. Establish the tone here. Hawks control the face-off. Kind of got tangled up in their own men. They'll play it back to the point. D to D pass, trying to get a shot. Halleck there to block that shooting lane. Back up top and over to the near boards. Good pressure by Halleck. Errant pass went behind him, didn't really have a chance for a good shot. They shot it wide. Loose puck dug out in the corner by the Hawks. They'll play it back to the point. Botham out there, along with Bayshore, McCabe on the far side, and Halleck on the near side. Hawks looking for a top of the slot pass. They'll play it back to the point. Good job by the Warriors clogging up the shooting lanes. Really not a lot of good looks. Half the penalty's been burned off, down to 44 seconds. Hawks play it back up top, looking for a slap shot tip, but really just kind of stopped the shot. Hawks were hoping for a redirect, but it stopped it short. Another one goes wide left. And just does smack it out of there. Good play by Robotham to not only clear the zone, but almost created a little opportunity for himself. Fresh legs on the ice. Here comes Phillips. Phillips picks up the puck behind his own net. He'll play it off the boards, trying to get it up and out. Doesn't quite get out. 2 seconds left on the penalty. Back to full strength. Good play there by Fine to hang on to it. We're going to face off here, back to full strength, 5-on-5 hockey. Newton to take the face off, he'll chip it ahead. Comes all the way back to the point though. Loose puck corralled by Newton. 3-on-2 rush here. He's got Curtin on the side and Moss. Moss plays it back to Newton. Newton, little drop pass over there for Curry, but just out of his reach, goes into the far corner. Warriors trying to dig it out. Good poke check there. And around and they score! Great job there by the Warriors to strike first. Kept the intensity up. Really good forecheck pressure. Had a good 3-on-2 rush and just didn't result in a shot. But when that puck went into the corner, they stayed on it, dug it out, got a shot in the slot. Rebound got tucked behind the goalie. Warriors go up 1-0. Gonna get a slash here on somebody, it looks like. Griffin back to the box. That's 2 on Griffin quickly in the first period. Got to keep an eye on that because the rule here in Chicago is 4 penalties and you'll have to miss the next game. So on your 4th penalty, you sit, you're done for the day, and you'll miss the next game. So certainly don't want anybody to get 4. And so Coach Halleck has said if you get 3, he's going to pull you for the rest of the game just to not jeopardize missing that next whole entire game. So got to be careful. Griffin's kind of down to no more penalties to spare. Tough shot there just inside the post. Didn't look like Fine really maybe saw it. It was a lot of traffic in the slot. He might have been screened. Shot inside the post. And the Hawks tie it up quickly on the power play goal. .8:58 remaining in the first. We're back to a 1-1 game. Hawks control, they'll dump it in and chase after it. Puck circles around on the near side. Picked up by Palmer. He slings it around, but not quite out of the zone. It does hop over the stick of the left defenseman there, so creates an offsides call there for his team. They'll blow it dead. Puck will come back here to the spot, close enough to the spot of the infraction where the pass originated. Bayshore corrals the puck. Sends it up in the neutral zone, but picked up by a Hawks player and immediately dumped into the bench. Third straight center ice face-off in the last 10 seconds. Hawks bang it in, but Palmer will chase after it. Circling behind his own net. Play it off the boards. Bouncing puck clears the zone. Chasing after it is Walcott. Hawks player beats him there. Halleck turns around and digs it out. Trying to get back up to Walcott. Hawks will sling it in. Chasing after his Bayshore. Trying to step around a check. Hawks player grabbed the puck. Quick shot. Bouncing puck. Makes it all the way to the crease. It's got redirected, but not a lot on it by the time it got there. Fine turns it aside. Good look there, trying to find Halleck streaking up the near boards, but intercepted by the Hawks. Push up the far side. Palmer trying to make something happen all the way into the corner, trying to leave it for Robotham. Loose puck banged around. Howick trying to kick it back. Hawks regain control. They flip it out of the zone just past Phillips, who tried to glove it down. Curtin off the boards, trying to play a little pool off the bunker there, trying to play it over to Howick, but couldn't get through. Comes right back to Newton. Newton to dump it in ahead of the traffic and chase after it. Loose puck. Some of those, like yesterday, with an errant pass or a drop pass that didn't connect, turned into a quick opportunity. Warriors just couldn't get a stick on that one. Bouncing puck corralled below the blue line by Moss. He'll send it in. A 2-on-1 here with a lot of Warriors back checking. Phillips breaks it up, does a good job with the stick, poke check. Loose puck slides into the crease, and Fine will cover that up. 6:46 remaining. Good defensive stick there by Phillips. Broke it up, and the puck trickled into the crease. Seemingly harmlessly, but it did bounce around a little bit before he was a chance to cover it. Whitlock on the ice with Welsh.
Let's go, Ginger!
1 minute left on the penalty kill for the Warriors. Good opportunity for Whitlock if he can outskate his man. Puck on the right side. He gets around him. Quick shot. Fires it just over the crossbar wide right. Good hard shot, though, and a good odd man rush. Even down shorthanded. Hawks will circle it up on their own net. Long pass up to the center ice. Near boards. Broken up there by Palmer. Good physical play there by Palmer to separate that man who was trying to receive that pass. Warriors pick it up. They'll play it off the glass all the way down. No icing, though. About 40 seconds left on the penalty. Okay, back with Palmer. Howick and Walcott are your forwards. Howick jumps a pass. Quick shot. Leg pad save. Comes back out to the face-off circle. Hawks will regroup. Errant pass goes off the skate, picked up by McCabe. McCabe trying to do the same thing, send it back down, get behind the defense. 15 seconds left in the penalty to Griffin. Shot on target, dangerous redirect. Fortunately, that went wide. Bouncing puck corralled just below the blue line, though. Hawks keep it alive. Shot, stick save. Comes right to a player on the back door for the Hawks, and he shot it wide. Top of the slot, puck is bouncing around, but good clear there by McCabe to get it out. Howick chasing after it. Poked away, though, by the Hawks. A little soccer play there. Palmer tries to keep it alive. Ends up back with the Hawks. Back to full strength. Moss trying to chip it ahead. He gets it back over to Curtin. Curtin plays it ahead to Robotham on the far side. Warriors seem to be finding a little more rhythm, knowing where the open man is. Quick shot by Bayshore. Corralled by the Hawks goalie, and start to see a little more rhythm and communication here with the Warrior kids. Figuring each other out. When they're full strength, the Warriors have been playing pretty dominant hockey so far in this first period. I'd like to see the new pressure. A sense of urgency here. Depending on what happens today, they might get a consolation game where there's nothing left except the evening game, or they'll have a chance to play in a bracket game this evening that still provides the opportunity for some Sunday hockey. So this game right here will determine that. Not only winning and losing, but also goal differential and where that puts them in the standings. So definitely an important game to not only win, but maybe try to win by a comfortable margin and put themselves somewhere outside of that 9-10 slot where you don't have any more than one more game. A lot of hockey left, though. We'll see how it goes. Face off in the offensive zone. Phillips is out there with McCabe on defense. Griffin took the draw. Another quick face off as the goalie covers it up. Hawks control the face-off. Looking for an outlet pass. They play right in the face-off circle. Messy exchange. Almost came back to a couple Warriors. Long shot. Blocker save. Kicks it into the corner. McCabe will sling it around the side. Looking for Whitlock. Whitlock played it off the boards, or tried to anyway, but enough to get it out of the zone. Good battle by Whitlock. Hawks pick up the puck. Offsides as the puck went back in the zone, and Whitlock was still below the blue line. Get a whistle here with about 3.5 minutes left.
Let's go, Ginger.
Griffin will take the face off. Whitlock and Welsh are your forwards. McCabe and Phillips on defense. McCabe picks it up, plays it back to Phillips. Phillips off the boards, over a bouncing puck, trying to get it over a stick, but picked up at center ice. Backhand centering pass floats through everybody. Picked up by Griffin. A couple sticks take a crack at it, goes up and over the glass. We'll get a face off here at center ice. Warriors control. They play it back to Palmer. Palmer, quick shot off the boards, trying to bank it up, looking for Howitt, but below the red line when Howitt touched it, so no icing. Kept in by Palmer. Howitt and Rabotham chasing after it. Hawks regroup. They'll send it into the netting, and that'll draw a whistle and a face-off in the Hawks zone. Under 3 here to play. Tie game 1-1, but just feels like really good energy. I'm not going to say it feels like they're winning, but it kind of does feel like they're winning. Just seeing the bounce in their step, the good communication, a lot of good shots, so hopefully they can keep that going. Another stretch pass right on the red line. No icing, but it's on target nevertheless. We'll get a face-off down in the Warrior zone. Bayshore digs it out, trying to get it up to Curtin. Kept in though. Good physical play there by Curtin to separate his man from the puck on the boards. Shot right on target, but easily turned aside by Fine. Moss trying to chip it ahead. He's got Curtin. Curtin trying to chase after it. Gets there just in time for a slap shot. Puck goes saved and goes into the corner. Hawks bring it out all the way back. Phillips corrals the puck. Good job by Phillips to fight off the man who was on him and come away with the puck. Looking for an outlet pass. He'll find Curtin. Curtin trying to play it back, looking for Newton, but goes right into the slot. Shot goes wide. Warriors fortunate there. Puck comes back to the point. Rough exchange there for the Hawks. They missed an opportunity for a shot, but another turnover right in the slot. Now we're going to get a trip here on Phillips. Trying to play the puck, got his stick under the skate and tripped up the Hawks player, so he'll get a tripping penalty here with 1:37 remaining in the period. So Phillips will miss the rest of the first period. That'll take us right down to intermission. And then back to full strength in the second period. Barring any penalties here, I should say, by the Hawks that even it up. But 5-on-4 for the moment. Welsh in the corner battling. Hawks come away with it. They play it back to the point. D to D, trying to find a shot. Good job by Whitlock to clog the shooting lane up. Nothing there. They do get one all the way through. Blocker save. Kicked aside by Palmer. Palmer plays it up the boards, trying to get it to Welsh. Welsh chips it around a defender. Could be a 2-on-1 if Welsh can get there. Almost an opportunity there for Welsh to chip it back. Trying to find Whitlock. But good back check there by the Hawks. Another opportunity and a smart heads-up play there by Welsh. Didn't have a chance to really corral it, but he did just enough to get it out of the zone. Played it over to the near boards away from the forward. Loose bouncing puck got all the way through the blue paint there. Fine covers it up. 46 seconds left in the penalty to Phillips, 53 in the period. Burned off about half of the penalty, so let's see if they can finish it off here. Still a couple good rushes by the Warriors, even being down a man. Alec and Griffin are your forwards. McCabe and Palmer on defense. McCabe fighting off some traffic. He'll flip it up and over the glove of a Hawks player. Goes all the way back in the Hawks zone. Pass intercepted at center ice. Good job by Palmer to fight through that. Poke check, almost came away with it. Warriors doing a great job to burn off the last part of this penalty here. 15 seconds left. Recently retired penalty box guy Chris Curtin doing his job here. Got this hand on the door. Phillips about to come out. I should say recently retired from corporate life, Chris Curtin. But still a full-time penalty box guy. A little jealous of that, to say the least. Happy for him, though. Puck trickles back behind the Hawks defense. They fan on a pass here. Gotham pursuing. Dooning out there as well. And that'll do it for the period. I'm not sure. We started with, let's say, dirty ice. We didn't have a ZAM, so yeah, it looks like we'll get a ZAM here after the first period. So 1-1. Warriors back to full strength when the period starts. And I'll put it on mute. We'll come back in about 15 minutes and see you in the second period. We're underway here in the second period. See if the Warriors can stay out of the penalty box this period. Give a few more scoring chances. They dominated really when it was 5-on-5. Had some great pressure, a lot of good scoring opportunities. Just had, I don't know, maybe it was 5.5 minutes or so in the box. 4.5 minutes maybe. At least 3 penalties, so nevertheless, seemed to play well when it was 5-on-5, and they even had a few scoring opportunities when it was 4-on-5, and they were killing off the penalties, so I feel like they can give themselves a good chance if we can keep it at even strength here. Find the back of the net again. Big hit at the blue line there. Bayshore chips it up, trying to find Walcott. Walcott and Howick, 2-on-1. Walcott over the blue line. Quick shot, looking for maybe a rebound off the leg pad of the goalie for Howick, but hits the defender and goes into the corner. Comes all the way back, trying to clear it down there, but intercepted by Phillips. Phillips plays it off the near boards to Curtin. Curtin off the boards over to Moss. Moss trying to get through some traffic. Toe drag shot. Might have got a piece of it with the blocker, just kind of fluttered by the top left corner. Good toe drag there by Moss as he was trying to pull it back into the blue paint and get a little quick shot. I think he just kind of ran out of real estate there. Hawks will sling it around, but not out. Palmer right there to keep it in. Plays it off the boards up for Curtin. Curtin trying to find backdoor shot. Great look there by Newton. Another shot goes up the side of the cage. Moss had a crack at it. Good pass, good shot and a rebound. 2 good opportunities there. Phillips will play it over to Palmer. Palmer back around the boards over to Phillips. Phillips up the boards, comes off the skate, trying to find Newton, but comes up to Curry. Curry back to Newton. Moss trailing. Shot deflected before he could pull the trigger. Got poke checked away by the Hawks, but good puck movement there. That'll be an icing. The Hawks have just had enough of this rush. And they'll send it back.
Ryan, let's keep it going, Black.
12:34 remaining in this second period. Good start and good energy here for the Warriors. Hawks have played around, comes all the way outside the blue line. 2-on-2 rush here. Hawks chasing, but good back check by McCabe. They play it up to the far boards, trying to find Welsh on a cross-ice pass, but Welsh does get to it. Good hustle by Welsh to pick it up, and he plays it back to the point, but nobody there as Griffin had to retrieve his stick by the time he got into the play. Puck had cleared the zone. They'll play it around for Dooning. Kept back in at the point, just a slow bouncer, turned aside by Fine, and McCabe will corral it. McCabe up to Welsh. Welsh trying to find that pass through the seam. Floated it high, but gloved down by a Hawks player. A little action over here after whistle, or I should say behind the play. Griffin was taken down. The Hawks player without his stick was just out there trying to run a little interference for everything. He'll head back to the bench. Pretty physical shift here on this one. Welsh turns it around, just over the red line. Puck was over the red line. Welsh was not, but nevertheless, that still counts. The puck was launched into the end over the red line, so no icing. Botham battling behind the net, goes off the side of the cage, comes in front, but turned aside by the Hawks. Botham battling here. Dooning keeps it in at the point. Hawks player tries to kick it and keep it alive, but does clear the zone. He'll sling it around behind the referee. Takes a weird hop. We had one of those yesterday that burned us. Takes a weird hop off the dasher board and kept in by Palmer. That puck was wrapping around the referee and up the boards and kicked right back to the high slot. This puck kicked out. Robotham and Phillips are back. Whistle behind the play here. Let's see if they're going to take one or two. Both of them pleading their case. And we got one of each. Offsetting penalties will still be even strength. Palmer goes off. 10:31 remaining in the second. Neutral zone face-off after the offsetting penalties. The action was down on the Warriors' end, so they'll face it off towards that direction, but still a neutral zone face-off. Still 5-on-5 hockey. Shot, tip, goes wide. Chasing after is Dooning and Curtin. Warriors trying to clear it out, kept it at the blue line. Quick shot, turned aside by Fine. Curtin and Dooning again on the far side. Dooning plays it off the boards, trying to find Moss. Moss will sling it around. Chasing behind the net. Newton over there as well, trying to pitch it into the corner. Almost a chance to intercept that. Streaking in was Curtin, but just overskated it. The puck comes all the way back to the Warriors' end. McCabe skates through a check. Hawks players broken a stick. You can see half of it in two different spots in the neutral zone here. He quickly rushed back to the bench. Nobody cringes more than the parents when that happens. There's $300 laying there at center ice, unfortunately. Hawks controlled momentarily, but couldn't quite get a shot off. Comes back to center ice, and they'll have to reset. Hawks will dump it in. Circles around behind Fine. Chasing after is Dooning. Hawks player will meet him there in the corner. Chips it back to Newton. Newton trying to bring it up and out, but intercepted by the Hawks. Quick shot, little one-timer. Flutters in. Blocker saved by Fine. Hawks controlling a lot of this shift. No real clean shots, but certainly kept it in the zone for a better part of a minute now. Good shot goes wide right. Moss chasing after it. Hawks will keep it right back in. It feels like a power play with the Hawks able to dominate this end of the ice for a while. There we go. They finally break it up. Newton tried to dump it in. It's picked up by Moss. Moss throws it towards the net. Knocked down, though, by a Hawks player. Hawks skated out on the right side, up through the neutral zone. Shift change from the Warriors. Walcott back along with Phillips. Hawks played it wide. Loose puck right in front. A good pass. Chipped off the stick and just floated in the blue paint for a minute, but Fine turned it aside. Phillips chasing after it. Good job to evade the check, ties up the man. While he was doing that, Griffin takes the puck away. Hawks come away with it momentarily, fire a shot off the glass, and it caroms all the way down. Got a neck guard that's come off. Can't quite tell who might be missing it. There's a neck guard. Quick shot saved by Fine. Loose puck in front. Kicked out. Fortunately far enough that nobody could get a crack on it. Opportunity here for a rush. Welsh trying to chip it ahead for Walcott. He gets upended. I think we'll get a penalty here. I'm not sure if Welsh went down, so it might have been a Hawks player going off. We'll see, 53 maybe. Trip on 53 as Welsh was streaking into the offensive zone and got upended by 53. He went sliding. Referee behind the play caught that. Actually, I'm watching the replay here. Looks like the Hawks player was diving after Welsh. And his entire body is what tripped up Welsh. So pretty obvious trip call there. Warriors on the power play here. Let's see what they can do. Puck comes back out to McCabe. Does a good job to keep it in below the blue line. Plays it down to Halleck. Out to McCabe, over to Palmer. Palmer trying to get a quick shot, but no shooting lane. We'll circle around, trying to create some space. Plays it under the stick, back over to Halleck. Halleck trying to get a long pass in the back door. McCabe with a good shot, but in pretty close. Didn't have a good angle, blocker save. Maybe a glove save, got knocked down by the Hawks goalie. Warriors will regroup. Up comes Palmer. through center ice. Palmer looking for a centering pass, trying to find it back. Maybe was it Rabotham out there? Yeah, looking for Rabotham, but it didn't get through. Hawks spin around, trying to clear it out. Comes up, knocks off of Palmer, and just squirts out into the neutral zone. Palmer, good pass over to McKay. All the way through the slot. Couldn't find a Warrior stick there. Drop pass. Shot, loose puck in front. Backhand, loose, another loose puck in front. Kicked aside. Halleck got a crack at it, trying to bang it off the back of the goalie. 15 seconds left the power play. Shot goes wide right. Comes over to McCabe. Shot from Palmer goes wide left. Corralled by Halleck. 5 seconds left. Maybe one or two more shots here. Got to keep an eye on that trailer coming out of the penalty box. Halleck with a slap shot. Bouncing puck, does a good job to keep it in. They'll send it the length of the ice. That should be an icing. I don't know that anybody touched that. They wave it off. Hawks come away with it, trying to get a shot. They fanned on it. It's picked up by Palmer. Palmer with a head of steam, trying to find Curtin streaking on the left side. That'll be icing. Just out of his reach. Couldn't quite catch up to it. Good idea. Trying to return the favor for some of those long stretch passes we were a victim of yesterday. That one was just out of reach of Curtin as he was streaking down the far side. Hawks control the faceoff momentarily, but out of their reach. Moss comes away with it. Up and over the crossbar. Like a 2-on-0 break. Looking for a rebound after the shot there, but just a little bit high. And offsides as Moss was in the zone. Played out of the zone, chipped up into the center ice area. Bayshore trying to intercept the pass. Does a good job to break up that play. Puck trickles back to Dooning. Dooning trying to get through the legs of a forward for the Hawks. They chip it away into the corner. Good drop pass there behind his back from Moss to Newton. Got upended, play comes the other direction. Bayshore back along with Curtin and Dooning. Curtin comes away with it. Little drop pass over for Moss. Moss trying to slide it up the boards, looking for Newton, but couldn't get through the Hawks player. Centering pass for the Hawks comes all the way back across the blue line. And they'll regroup. Pass intercepted by Newton. Good job there by Curtin to kind of body that puck back onto the ice. Whitlock and Curtin. Whitlock trying to get a little takedown there. Not sure how you get away with that. Puck is down in the corner. Referee just let that one go. They were totally tangled up. You can see the Hawks player hanging on to Whitlock. Puck kept in by Phillips at the blue line. Good keep there by Phillips. Phillips one man back, streaking Hawks player. He passes over to Palmer. Palmer will circle around. At center ice looking for Halleck. Good job by Halleck to at least get a stick on it. Prevent the icing call. Good check there by Griffin. Intercepted by Phillips. Back over to Halleck. Shot on target. Kicked aside by the Hawks goalie. Good pass from Phillips to Halleck. Goalie was up to the task. Welsh, little chip back over to Halleck. Halleck tried to chip it right back to Welsh, but picked off by the Hawks. Good shift there for the Warriors. Palmer, long pass looking for Halleck, trying to bang it off the glass here. Play a little pool, get the angle right. But it was just a little bit too big of an angle. little bit ahead of Howick. Icing is the call. Face off back down the Warrior zone here with just a couple minutes left in this period. A lot of action in both directions. No goals here in period number 2. Hawks control in the far corner. A couple Warriors in there to help out. Botham battling in the back, along with Dooning. Puck comes back to Howick. Howick trying to run the breakout here, sends it far ice over to Dooning. Dooning's got Walcott over the blue line, on sides. They'll dump it in the corner. Howick will chase after it, trying to slap it ahead, looking for Dooning. Back to the point for Robotham. Robotham, good shot, trying to get a low burner in there for a tip. Made it all the way to the leg pad. Howick on the back door looking for a pass. I missed that here. Not sure what happened, but might catch the replay. Play came back to the point. Hawks player is still down. Let's see if I can catch that in the replay. I'm not sure if it was in the frame or not. That was just a rough and a shove. It's like he was running into each other? Yeah, he just kind of pushed him away. I mean, it wasn't huge. It definitely looks bad now, but once he got up to the point, he just shoved him down.
Oh, they're shoving on each other. I see.
Yeah.
He just got the bigger shove.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't get a penalty?
Oh, they might have tossed him. I thought he said something like, "Oh, he's in there." Yeah, he's in there. I watched the replay, and certainly on YouTube you can zip back and catch that. We still have a stoppage of the action here, but they got a little back and forth shoving just inside the blue line, and can't recall who's in the box there. If that's might be Dooning, but they just shoved him back, got the better of it. So wasn't an egregious hit or a boarding, but we'll see what they give him. I mean, it certainly looks worse when the player's down for a little bit, but when you shoved him back, the Hawks player got the worst of it. So we'll see if it's a minute 30 or double minor, possibly a 2 and 10, but we'll see. We don't have it up on the boards yet. Actually, you know what? It's 5-on-5, so no penalty. The other player left the ice. Looked like he wasn't feeling great, so maybe he went back to the locker room, but referee noticed it was a back and forth battle. Sent them both off. One went to the locker room, and Dooning's in the penalty box, but nevertheless, even strength, offsetting penalties. Palmer will backhand that into the zone. Settles behind the net. Misplayed right in front. Shot. Good opportunity there. I think that was Moss sliding through the crease. Had a good shot. Didn't get a lot of heat on it, but it trickled in just outside the blue paint. Goalie made a good save there. As Hawks player misplayed it behind their own net. It was a good dump in by Palmer, and as it settled behind the net, the Hawks player misplayed it. It was a great opportunity for a little pass in front. Warriors control, comes back to Palmer. Quick wrist shot, goes wide of the net on the left side. Warriors trying to center it. Moss battling back there, along with Newton. Shot intercepted by the Hawks defense. They'll bring it around their own net and flip it high up and out of the zone. McCabe tries to feint out with his glove, but it goes all the way into the corner. Good back check by Palmer. Comes away with it behind his own net. Looking for an outlet pass. He'll play it up and out of the zone. Trying to find Curtin. Curtin trying to find an extra gear here to beat his man to the puck. No icing. Palmer chips down, pinches down, I should say. Plays it into Curtin. Curtin trying to find a centering pass, looking for Newton. Moss holds back at the point. Palmer pinching down. McCabe on the near side, chasing after it. Long outlet pass. I think Curtin got a stick on it. No icing. Curtin tied up in the far corner, trying to get a stick free to make a pass. Moss battling back there as well. And we're going to get it rough here on Griffin. I think that'll be Griffin's third of the game. So we'll see if Coach Travis penalty ends, or the period ends, and there'll be a penalty for Griffin as we come back into the third period. And if the strategy that Coach Travis was talking about holds true, that'll be Griffin's third, and he'll keep him out of the remaining period, just prevent him from missing the entire game number 4 this evening. So we'll see how we play that. Surprisingly, though, a lot of action, but no goals in that second period. Underway here in the third. Warriors serving a penalty here to Griffin to start the third period. Be shorthanded for a minute and a half. Whitlock trying to get up. Tangled up again with the player on the far side. The same thing happened on the opposite end, previous period. Hawks control here at the man advantage. Trying to find a shooting lane, just a good little stick there by Welsh. Didn't get much on it, but enough to distract him. And the puck goes all the way back in their own zone. Hawks will have to regroup. Shot on target, saved by Fine. Pulls it back to himself and covers it up. Good save there to hang on to that one. .35 seconds left and the penalty kill for the Warriors. Dunning slaps it around. Not enough to clear it out, though. Good keep by the Hawks defenseman at the point. Play it back on the near point. Shot goes wide right. Might have hit some traffic on the way through. I saw it flutter. Didn't quite make it to the net. Halleck on the far side. Rabotham out there for forward as well. Shot, and they score. Watch the replay and see it may have gotten redirected, but it went high over the shoulder of Fine. Might have been a redirection, but either that or a screen. And yeah, it looked like that was a good shot from the point. There might have been a player there just outside the crease that got a good stick on it. Redirected it. Warriors find themselves down 2-1. Gonna claw back here. Not sure there's an overtime, and I know there's not an overtime in pool play because I've seen some ties in the standings. So they'll need 2 goals here to get a win and get an opportunity to have a meaningful game this evening. There is a chance that there's some other teams that could have a rough tournament like the Warriors have had so far, and possibly we'd still get in on a goal differential tiebreaker. Goal here, though, be to get one of the games this evening that has a chance to play on Sunday. Good back check by Phillips after he missed the pass at the point. Come back and break up the play. With McKay back on defense as well. Hawks chip it up there through the neutral zone. 3 players back. Bayshore turns aside a Hawks player. And he tries to return the favor, and Bayshore sends it right back to him. The Hawks player didn't like how the first check went. He tried again, and Bayshore returned the favor twice. They need to rein this in. That guy's going after Bayshore. Certainly looked like Hawks player was just not happy with how that last exchange ended, so he went after Bayshore. Very clearly went after Bayshore. And he never could get the better end of that deal, so he just kept going. That's unfortunate. They're only going to have one. That's a little ridiculous that they didn't call a penalty on anything that happened prior to that, and then they clearly went after and targeted Bayshore. It led to that last fracas there. I don't know how you don't call something that affects both teams there after that retaliation. Yeah, I'm watching the replay here. I mean, certainly, obviously, it's going both ways. That player went over, and when he checked Bayshore down, yeah, there we go. Look at the guy in the red helmet. Obviously, they're all wearing red helmets, but getting the guy that pushed Bayshore down and then stayed on top of him. Continued to cross-check him down the ice. When Bayshore got back up and retaliated, rightly so, that's when it went from bad to worse for everybody. It appears they might be serving a 2 and 10 if they're going to send somebody else in. They can't send Griffin in there. Griffin almost went in there, but he can't. If Griffin goes in, that's his 4th penalty. Even though he's just serving the 2 and 10 portion, he can't do that. That would count as a 4th, I would think. So they keep Griffin out of the box. Looks like maybe offsetting penalties, but a 2 and 10 for Bayshore. So not sure. Unless they're doing double minors, it looks like. So maybe they've got 2 people picked out, not a 2 and 10, but 1 offsetting penalty and then 1 extra one. Try to keep an eye on who's in the box there. It looks like 14, so it might be Palmer in there. Apologize, I had the clock running there. I'll get that back on schedule. Whitlock picks up the puck, trying to get a little rush here, being down a man. Hawks come away with it. Whitlock hacking out on his way back, trying to break up the play. He does, and it's just enough for us to send it right back down. Dooning sends it back down. Under 12 minutes remaining. One penalty to Palmer on the board here that he'll finish out and get us back to even strength. 11:35 remaining. Warriors needing to claw back here, at least tie it up. Leave some time here for a go-ahead goal. Shot from the point of Dooning. It's a skate, doesn't get through, but enough to keep it in the zone. Couple good poke checks, though, by the Hawks. They keep it alive momentarily. Robotham will chip it in. Botham's done a great job this tournament with forecheck pressure, even down a man, killing a penalty. Done a really good job just harassing the opposition on the far end. In this case, burning off a lot of good clock on the penalty kill. Botham comes away with it, trying to get a shot. Chipped aside, walk out back there as well. Long pass. Nobody touched it, and that'll be an icing call against the Hawks, and that'll come back the other direction. 26 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Hawks, or for the Warriors here. Bayshore shot. Blocked it up into the rafters, but didn't hit anything, so play continues. Ten seconds left in the penalty. Well, that's interesting. I guess I didn't realize after all that, Bayshore did not get any of those penalties. I couldn't quite tell who else is over there, but there are two Warriors in the box, but neither one of them was Bayshore. I guess the referees did make a good call in that regard, that they realized he was the recipient of some of that rough on the ice. They'll play it up to Moss. Moss flips it in over the defender. Well, it looks like it was a 2 and 10 for somebody. The penalty is over. Warriors are back to full strength, but trying to get a peek on who's in the box there. Good play around the traffic, trying to get an outlet pass, looking for Moss. I believe that was Newton trying to find Moss. Shot goes wide after the save by Fine. Moss trying to skate around some traffic. Newton played up over the blue line momentarily, but just outside the blue line, offsides as they dump it right back in. And maybe Palmer that was in the box, and they certainly could be warranted when they give that last penalty after the shove into the bench. Understandably frustrated after watching what they're doing, but that certainly drew enough attention for a penalty. Check the Hawks player into our bench. Nine and a half remaining. So Griffin's out there. Had his third penalty, but he's got to be careful not to get a fourth. If he gets a fourth, he would miss this afternoon game, or this evening game. According to the rules we heard before the tournament started. 4 penalties in one game results in a suspension for the following game. McCabe behind his own net, circling around, trying to play it off the boards. Kicking it out for Whitlock. Whitlock pokes it ahead. Far side is Welsh. Welsh trying to get it right back to Whitlock. Broken up, though, by the Hawks. Comes back to Dooning at the point. They play it over a poke check. Back to Welsh. Welsh turns and fires it back deep, looking for Whitlock. But Hawks player is there to intercept it. Puck will slide all the way around. Picked up by the Hawks. They'll break it out of the zone. Through center ice. Intercepted by Dooning and Griffin. McCabe on the far side. Flips it up into the zone on target. Turned aside by the Hawks goalie. Hawks trying to send it back around, but good pressure by Griffin. Halleck back there as well. Hawks flip it out of the zone. Dooning is back along with McCabe. Good back check there by Robotham. Warriors flip it up and out. Long pass looking for Robotham. Just takes a funny bounce, kind of breaks up the rush there. And Hawks recontrol through the neutral zone. Pass, shot, wide right, picked up by Dooning. Good outlet pass. Robotham didn't get a stick on it, so icing will be the call. 7:53, face-off comes back in the Warrior zone. Hawks control, they play it back to the right D, a little bit of an off-target pass, had to regroup, couldn't get a shot off. Hawks in the high slot, shot, bar, did not go in. Then the second one went in. First one did not go in, it was a great shot, but it hit the crossbar and came down in the blue paint, but Warriors couldn't find the handle on the rebound, and a Hawks player went in and picked up the loose change and scored the third goal of the game for the Hawks. So they go up 3-1 here with 7:39 remaining. But it sure felt like the momentum was with the Warriors in the first period going into part of the second, but it's been pretty evenly matched ever since then. And a few more scoring chances here for the Hawks that they've converted on. Hawks will play it through center ice, comes back to McCabe. McCabe and Palmer back on defense for the Warriors. Newton, Curtin, and Moss are your forwards. Newton circles around, buying some time, looking for a one-timer from Moss. Poke check, though, by a Hawks player before he could get a stick on it. Moss back checking, pokes it away. Regained, though, by the Hawks. Centering pass, good move, back around, and he pulls it back to himself and backhands it wide. Good little move there by the Hawks player. Send it wide left. Hawks circling around, looking for a one-timer over there in the Ovechkin slot. They'll play it right back to him on the point. Another shot from behind the circle. Blocked and goes wide right. Same play, back to the point. He'll step down into the circle. McCabe applying pressure back there along with Palmer. Outlet pass, trying to find Moss, just out of his reach a little bit, but scooped right back up by Newton. He's trying to find Moss again. Warriors trying to get something going here, just a lot of back and forth in the neutral zone. Not a sustained possession here for a little while. They'll chip it down deep. Going after it is McCabe. They'll slide it around to Palmer. Palmer back to McCabe. Little miscommunication. He circles behind the net. He'll chip it up the boards, trying to find Whitlock. It's offsides. They do touch back up. Palmer regains possession. Trying to send it around to Welsh and up to Whitlock, but poke checked away. Hawks in their own zone. 5.5 minutes remaining in the third.
Head contact.
We're going to get a cross check here. Looks like number 8 will go off. Yeah, a little bit behind the play there. Looked like as the play was leaving the zone, number 8 got a stick up and a little cross check, shove back to Warriors player. I couldn't tell it was in the replay that he was checking into, but either way, number 8 goes off. 5:30 remaining. Warriors have a power play here for a bit. Let's see if they can take advantage. Dooning on the far side. Pinches it momentarily, but picked up by the Hawks. They'll send it the length of the ice. Phillips is back. Touched up by Fine. Phillips has skated out from behind his own net. Trying to find Walcott, but poke checked away. Hawks will send it right back in. Phillips, one man on him. He'll hit the brakes, looking for an outlet pass, trying to find Dooning or Walcott. Both of them a little miscommunication, but picked up by Rabatham over to Howick. Howick, a little backhand here, looking for it to maybe go off a leg pad. Trying to find a rebound for another Warrior, but scooped up by the goalie, and we'll get a face-off. Just about half of the time left on the penalty. To number 8 for the Hawks, 47 seconds left on that power play. This puck comes back to the point for Palmer. Palmer plays it back down low. Back to Palmer. Shot. Looking for a tip. The tip actually just stopped the shot entirely, and it trickled wide. Moss plays it back to the point for Palmer, but just out of his reach. He lets it the zone and regroup. Moss, pressure on. Taps it over to McCabe. Errant pass, though, broken up. Sent in the zone by the Hawks. McCabe ties up his man. Newton comes away with it. Newton skates it out over to Palmer. Palmer and Moss over the blue line. Shot by Palmer goes wide. Newton pursuing on the left corner. Trying to keep it in at the point. Momentarily they do, but chipped out by the Hawks. Curtin's back. Curtin behind his own net. Circles right through the slot. Dangerous path there, but comes away with it. Plays it off the skate of Palmer. Back to Curtin. Curtin trying to find Palmer. Good pass there. Just bounced off his stick before he could get a shot. Right on the blue line. Newton will bring it out. Plays it back right into the skate of the referee. Fortunately for the Hawks. Hawks come away with it. Shot goes high. Might have got a piece of it with the blocker, but it goes high into the far corner. Palmer looking for a long outlet pass for Curtin. That'll be icing as nobody touched it. It was behind the action. 3:20 remaining in this game. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. There were a few undefeated, or I should say a few winless teams in the standings so far. So if the Warriors end up winless, it just depends on how many other teams there are. If there's at least 3, then you're telling me there's a chance that we're not one of the 2 that fall into the 9-10 spot. So we'll see. 1 through 8 will have a chance to play tonight, and a win takes them to tomorrow. If you're 9 and 10, you play tonight, and that's just your consolation game, and you're done. So we'll see where the Warriors end up. 3 minutes left in this contest. Down 3-1. They need to find 2 quick goals. Dooning on the ice with Welsh, Whitlock, Griffin, Palmer, and Bayshore. They do have the goalie pulled, so 6 attackers out now for the Warriors for the final 3 minutes. Whitlock comes away with it, circling behind the net, though. The Hawks pick it up. They'll play it off the boards, trying to get it up and out. No icing. It's not going to make it. Dooning is back. Bayshore plays it up, but not out. They chip it off the boards, trying to clear the zone. Welsh over there with pressure, trying to chip it up to himself. Play it back to Griffin. Whitlock and Griffin trying to play it. Hawks come away with it, trying to get a shot. Blocked by Dooning, goes behind the net. Palmer comes away with it, trying to find an outlet pass to Whitlock. Chipped away, but Griffin picks it up. Griffin and Whitlock over the blue line. Palmer trailing on the right side. Good pass. Picked off, though, right in the slot. Hawks come the other direction. And they score. Shot from just inside the blue line. Tough to defend there with 2 or 3 Warriors players back, but hard to play goalie and also stop the rush at the same time. So they find a seam, they bury the empty netter. And that will likely seal the fate for at least the win-loss, maybe not the final score. Certainly still something to play for if they can close the gap on the goal differential, which may come into play in the standings. Down 4-1 with a -3 differential in this game. We'll see if they can at least cut the deficit a little bit and see what happens. Botham chips it in. Chasing after is Walcott, trying to keep it alive in the zone. Howick is there as well, but it just chips out. McCabe will play it back to Phillips. Phillips back to McCabe. Walcott, Robotham tied up here on the near side. Players finally disengage. McCabe on the far side. Trying to come away with it. Phillips comes away with it. They're offsides, but not immediate offsides. They'll let them touch up. Warriors touch up after the dump in. Hawks rushing out. Just over a minute left in the game. Circles behind the net. Palmer going after it along with Phillips and Robotham. Robotham chips it ahead, trying to find a streaking Howick or a Walcott, but turned aside by the Hawks. Phillips back to Palmer. Quick pass to Walcott. Walcott will backhand it into the zone, chasing after it along with Robotham. They slide it around. Howick trying to cut the angle off and get there first. Phillips back to the bench. Dooning out. Comes back to the point. 40 seconds left. Palmer keeps it in. And the Hawks will play it out. Hawks at center ice. Just doing enough to disrupt it and burn some clock here in the last 30 seconds. Should be an icing, and it is. 22 seconds left. We'll get a face-off in the offensive zone. Maybe a chance to set up a shot. A quick score here. You never know. 4-2 might do them some good. More than 4-1 will when it comes down to seeding this afternoon, so we'll see. Running around the boards to the far side. Back to the neutral zone, picked up by Moss. Moss will dump it back in just under the red line. Curtin chasing after it in the far corner along with Newton. Newton looking to play it back to Moss or somebody in the slot. Dooning streaking up front. Played up front, shot. Good pass there to Dooning. Just goes wide. And we got a little extracurricular here. This is hopefully keep all the other players off the bench. This will certainly result in some penalties for later. Probably will affect the final game here. Assume they'll wave off the handshake, but we'll see. Parents are good F-bombs there from the opposing parents. Gotta love that. Well, as expected, they wave off the handshake, and that'll do it here for this game. There's a few folks that are still tapping hands. Welsh there with a glove tap. Warriors drop 4-1. And one game left to play. We'll see how that shakes out with the schedule. Most of the games are around 6 o'clock or 6:15. We'll just have to see how the standings go. And we'll be back sometime this evening for the final game. And we'll see if they can pull out a victory for the last one here to end the tournament on a high note. But Warriors drop this one 4-1 against the Chicago Hawks, and we'll see you tonight.